Hi everybody, this is Christina with Getting Crafty, and I'm going to show you part one of the spooky mirror frame, okay? I have started already to paint part of it, and as you can tell the camera is a little bit off because I'm having to hold it while I do this for you, because I can't do this in my office. So you just take a little bit of paint, and as you can see, I haven't painted it completely all the way because I don't want it to be all the way through. So I'm just kind of rubbing it so that it'll look old, kind of like you guys know how I'm into Scooby-Doo. So I'm just trying to make it look old for now. Okay, and you just go around and do the same thing. You don't have to leave it like this. You can go ahead and make it the whole thing just completely whatever color you want. I just wanted to make mine look kind of old. So I will return in a little while with the rest of the video. Thanks! Hi everybody, I am back and my frame is now dry. You can probably see the parts where it almost looks like it was sanded and worn down, and that is simply just because I didn't paint it all the way through. I also had some silver glitter paint, and I also put some of that on there as well. I did not do the back side because whoever looks at the back side of anything, I don't. So that's what it looks like so far with it being dry. I'm going to set that aside for a minute because now I'm going to show you the mirror part. Now I've already started sanding on my mirror. And yes, you can see through it because mirror, we all know, is just a piece of glass with some stuff on the back. Now what you want to do on the back side, and it does take a little bit of elbow grease and stuff like that, but that's one of the reasons that I started it before I started this video. Otherwise it would be sitting here forever. But I have one of the old style Stampin' Up! Sanding blocks, and it seems to work really nice. Make sure that when you're doing this that you're in an area that you don't mind getting dirty because it does get a little dusty. So, and you just sand the back of it. You can see that it comes off, and I would actually not make it perfect, otherwise it doesn't quite look like a ghost. But you can see how it sands and it comes off, and it does get dusty. Okay? So you just keep sanding until you've covered the areas that you want to. Okay, and I think I will do a little bit more over here, but you can tell that it takes a little while to do the sanding, and I think that's about all I want to do. So you would wipe that off with a towel or something. I'm just going to grab a baby wipe so I can kind of clean it at the same time. So, and you just kind of clean off the area. Okay, I didn't have a whole lot of sanding, but believe me, it gets really, really dusty. You can see the dust that's already coming off on the baby wipe. And you just want to make sure that it's clean on both sides, which I have stuff all over mine. Okay, and then you just go ahead and dry that off really fast, and then after you get your mirror the way that you want it, go ahead and set it aside, and you're going to want to, now I printed out, this is just vellum cardstock, and all I did was find an old picture of some vintage person that would look kind of like a ghost, and I printed off 2 of them so that you can actually just make it to where, and I hope you can see this, to where it kind of just looks blurred. See how you can kind of see this one behind? You can also take this and put white behind it and it would look even more like it. Well, but it doesn't quite look like a ghost. See how it looks different? And if you guys are wondering, I will have a link to this and some other vintagey pictures that will kind of help, but this, I chose this one because me and my husband just watched a documentary on this fellow. His name is H.H. Holmes, and he was America's first serial killer out of Chicago. So I'm kind of making this for my husband because he was really getting into the whole thing. So then you just go ahead, this is filthy, but you just go ahead and you figure out how you want your frame. Okay? And it's just supposed to be like an apparition. It doesn't have to be the whole face or anything like that. And I will take and clean this all off before I take the picture for you guys. So you just go ahead and do that. Figure out where you want it. So that way when you cut this down, you don't have to worry about it. But you do want to do at least 2 on vellum so that you can do the little, you know, just center it off just a little bit so it'll look more kind of, I don't know, ghosty. I don't know. I'm not sure what you call it, but more like an apparition. Okay? You can do it that way or you can do it this way, however you want to do it, whatever looks good to you. Okay? And then you go ahead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set mine apart the way that I want it. And just so that I don't mess it up, I'm going to set it down, and then I'm going to set this on top to see where I want it. There we go. Okay. And then I am going to go ahead and take a pen. I'm going to use a Sharpie, and I'm just going to trace right around the edge of the mirror. And then I can take this off. Cut it off. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going behind, so that's why I'm not worried about using the paper cutter or anything like that. Okay. And you probably didn't even realize you were going to get a history lesson while you were doing this, did you? Okay, and then right here. Now you're going to need your hot glue gun for this as well. And this did not mark down here at the bottom on this one. So let me just cut that off. Okay, so I've cut that off to how I want my pictures to look, and they're centered off. I don't know if you can tell or not, but then you want to go ahead and what I'm going to do, so what I'm going to do is because the more, or I should say the less you have behind the actual mirror, the more it's going to look like a ghost image. Whoops. And I don't ever plan on changing this. So I am going to go ahead and use my hot glue gun. Maybe. And I'm just going to put some glue. Whoops, sorry, I just kicked the camera, I apologize. But put some glue inside of here to hold the mirror in. And you have to be kind of fast at this. Otherwise, it will just keep on, it won't stick. Okay, I think I've got enough there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and drop this in there. Maybe. These little prongs, I love them and I hate them all at the same time. Okay. So this thing is already in there sealed tight because it does not want to move at all. So it is in there, and it is in there for good. Okay, it even has some little spider webs there. Sorry, I jumped. I thought I heard it coming apart. So after you get that done, I am going to go ahead and put some more glue, but this time I'm going to put it directly on the mirror to hold the picture in. And we all know that when it comes to hot glue guns, that stuff does not come apart. Once it is there for good. Unless it dries quicker than you can get the picture in. Nope, that side's down. So, let me just put some more glue on this right here. And be careful that you don't burn yourself. We all know that I love doing that. Not. Okay, so you guys completely just missed a blooper. I had actually put the faces upside down from each other, so it looked like I had twins in the mirror instead of just one person. So I had to rip it out, as you can tell, and redo it. So you might want to make sure you don't do that either. But since this is the back, like I said, nobody ever looks at the back unless you're a demonstrator and you dissect everything. Then you will look at the back. So you go ahead and you put that one in. And then you can either cut these out or leave them in just for an extra safety measure, whatever you want to do for the mirror. And then you can flip it over and it looks like there's somebody in the mirror. Now, I don't know if you can tell because of the lights. I don't know if they're shining off of the mirror, but it looks pretty cool. So then I have some cheesecloth that I just got at Walmart. America's favorite place to get Tourette syndrome. And I just cut a piece off, and I'm going to go ahead and, oops, sorry, I keep kicking the camera. I'm I'm going to go ahead and just yank some of this around, yank it apart, because I kind of want it to look like a spider web, because it's been, you know, like the picture has been sitting in the room for a long time or something. And I love using this stuff instead of that fake spidery cotton stuff that you can buy, because that cotton stuff just, with my kids, it just becomes such a huge, gigantic mess. It's awful. And this, you can kind of pretty much shape it any way you want to without having that mess of stuff. Now I am just going to go ahead and I want one flower underneath, because I want it to look like the web, it's like they're in the webs. So it kind of looks like, you know, dust covered and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and just pull it apart. And I'll adhere that to that later. And seeing, you can grab a hole, put it like on the corner of your frame, and then we'll go ahead and stick some glue right there, because putting another flower on there on the top will hold it in place as well. And you can always cut some of these pieces too, because that'll kind of give it the old crazy used Scooby-Doo Shaggy kind of thing going on as well. I might just go ahead and cut unevenly. Because, I mean, when is a spider web even, right? Like this strand right here. I am just sticky now. Good grief. And then I will go ahead and stick some more glue right here. And put another flower down here. Play with this some more. And now, since I'm only using this much, now I can go ahead and cut some of this off. And it doesn't take a whole lot of webbing to get this like this, and you don't need a whole lot of embellishments. It's just basically, I wanted it to look like an old mirror I had found or something, and then when people look in it, they'll see this guy. Kind of like the do-it-your-own self-freaky mirror that you can find at some of the stores. I hope you enjoy the project, and I will actually probably have another project for you today as well, because I didn't get to do one on when I wanted to. So I apologize for that, and I will see you all again in a little while. Talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.